Let's talk about the weirdest kind of loss nobody prepares you for. Not a breakup, not a death, not even a fight, just a fade. One day you had a friend group, a group chat that actually got used. Inside jokes, weekend plans, people who knew your order at the coffee shop because you'd been there together 12 times. And then, slowly, without a single dramatic moment, it's just gone. Nobody said, "We're done." Nobody blocked anybody. The group chat is still there. It's just quiet now. Like a house after everyone's moved out, but the furniture's still in it. And here's the part that messes with your head. You can't even point to when it happened. There was no funeral for it, no last text that said goodbye. It just got a little less frequent, and then a little less. And then one day you realize you haven't heard, "We should hang out soon," in 8 months. We treat this like it's not a real loss, because nothing happened. But losing people slowly is still losing people. Grief doesn't check if there was a clean ending before it shows up. So why does this happen? Why do adult friendships just evaporate? Here's the unglamorous truth. Friendship, after a certain age, isn't emotional, it's logistical. When you were a kid, friendship was proximity. You sat next to someone in class for 9 months. Congratulations, you're best friends now. No effort required. The universe basically forced you together. Adulthood removes the forcing function. No shared classroom, no shared cafeteria, no default reason to be in the same room. Suddenly, friendship needs something it never needed before. Deliberate effort from people who are all exhausted. And exhausted people are bad at effort. Not because they don't care. Because caring costs energy, and everyone's operating on a deficit. So the group chat goes quiet, not because anyone stopped loving anyone. It goes quiet because 6 different people are each quietly assuming someone else will plan the thing. And nobody does. And that silence gets mistaken for indifference, when really it's just diffusion of responsibility, wearing a hoodie made of guilt. Here's the part that stings a little more. Sometimes it's not mutual exhaustion. Sometimes it's you. Maybe you got busy. Maybe you got in a relationship and it swallowed your social calendar whole. Maybe you just needed to disappear for a while to deal with your own stuff. And by the time you looked up, the door had quietly closed behind you. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person. But it's worth being honest about, because we drifted apart sometimes secretly means I drifted and they let me. And that's a very different thing to sit with. Now here's where it gets interesting, and slightly annoying, because it means there's no easy villain here. Most friend group fades aren't caused by a betrayal. They're caused by nobody being the one who reaches out first. Everyone's waiting to be chosen. Nobody wants to be the one who texts and gets left on read, or plans a hangout and watches 3 people flake. So everyone protects themselves by doing nothing. And a whole friend group can die of politeness, of everyone being too afraid of rejection to risk being the one who cares too much, which is almost funny if it wasn't so sad. A group of people who all still like each other, all quietly assuming they're the only one who misses it, all too proud or too scared to say so. So what do you actually do with this? First, grieve it if you need to. You're allowed to be sad about something that didn't end in any official way. A slow loss is still a loss. Don't let anyone, especially yourself, tell you it doesn't count because there was no big blow-up. Second, if there's one person from that group you actually still think about, text them. Not the whole chat. Just one person. One honest message. "Hey, I miss this. No pressure. Just wanted to say it." That's it. You don't need a grand reunion plan. You need one person to know the silence wasn't indifference. Third, and this is the uncomfortable one, accept that some friendships were seasonal. Not every person is meant to walk your whole life with you. Some people are there for a specific chapter, and the chapter ending doesn't erase what it meant. You don't need every friendship to last forever for it to have been real. And here's the thing about the friend group ghost, the actual quiet truth underneath all of this. The friendships that survive adulthood aren't the ones where nobody ever gets busy. They're the ones where somebody, occasionally, embarrasses themselves a little by reaching out first. So be the embarrassing one. Send the text nobody's sending. Worst case, it doesn't land, and you're exactly where you already were. Best case, the ghost gets a body again.